I wouldn't put it past them, though. I haven't seen them eat people yet, either. Ick.
Shut up. I like this movie.
Kyle, the lawyer, defended his choice.
Lots of pretty boys writhing in sheets and running around with low-cut pants and no shirts. I thought you might enjoy it too, Mercy.
I looked down at him, every lovely, solar-flexed inch of him, and thought that he was more interesting than any of the pretty men on the screen. More real. In appearance, he was almost a stereotype of a gay man, from the hair gel in his weakly cut dark brown hair to the tastefully expensive clothes he wore. If people weren't careful, they missed the sharp intelligence that hid beneath the pretty exterior, which was, because it was Kyle, the point of the facade.
This really isn't bad enough for bad movie night, Kyle continued, not worried about interrupting the movie. None of us were watching it for its scintillating dialogue. I'd have gotten Blade 3, but oddly enough, it was already checked out.
Any movie with Wesley Snipes is worth watching, even if you have to turn off the sound. I twisted and bent so I could snitch a handful of popcorn from Warren's bowl. He was too thin still. That and a limp were reminders that only a month ago he'd been so badly hurt I thought he would die. Werewolves are tough, bless him, or we'd have lost him to a demon-bearing vampire. That one had been the first vampire I'd killed, with the full knowledge and permission of the local vampire mistress. That she hadn't actually intended me to kill him didn't negate that I'd done it with her blessing. She couldn't do anything to me for his death, and she didn't know I was responsible for the other.
As long as he's not dressed in drag,
drawled Warren. Kyle snorted agreement.
Wesley Snipes may be a beautiful man, but he makes a butt-ugly woman.
Hey, I objected, pulling my mind back to the conversation. To Wong Fu was a good movie. We'd watched it last week at my house. A faint buzzing noise drifted up the stairs, and Kyle rolled off the couch and onto his feet in a graceful, dance-like move that was wasted on Warren. He was still focused on the movie, though his grin probably wasn't the reaction the movie makers had intended for their bloodfest scene. My feelings were much more in line with the desired result. It was all too easy to imagine myself as the victim.
"Brownies are done, my sweets," said Kyle. "Anyone want something more to drink?"
"No, thank you." It was just make-believe, I thought, watching the vampire feed.
"Warren?"
His name finally drew Warren's gaze off the TV screen.
"Water would be nice."
Warren wasn't as pretty as Kyle, but he had the rugged man look down pat. He watched Kyle walk down the stairs with hungry eyes. I smiled to myself. It was good to see Warren happy at last. But the eyes he turned to me as soon as Kyle was out of sight were serious. He used the remote to raise the volume, then sat up and faced me, knowing Kyle wouldn't hear us over the movie.
"You need to choose," he told me intently. "Adam or Samuel or neither. But you can't keep 'em dangling."
Adam was the alpha of the local werewolf pack, my neighbor, and sometimes my date. Samuel was my first love, my first heartbreak, and currently my roommate. Just my roommate, though he'd like to be more. I didn't trust either of them. Samuel's easygoing exterior masked a patient and ruthless predator. And Adam, well, Adam just flat scared me. And I was very much afraid that I loved them both. "I know." Warren dropped his eyes from mine, a sure sign he was uncomfortable.
"I didn't brush my teeth with gunpowder this morning so I could go shooting my mouth off, Mercy. But this is serious. I know it's been difficult, but you can't have two dominant werewolves after the same woman without bloodshed. I don't know any other wolves who could have allowed you as much leeway as they have, but one of them is going to break soon."
My cell phone began playing the baby elephant walk. I dug it out of my hip pocket and looked at the caller ID. "I believe you," I told Warren. "I just don't know what to do about any of it." There was more wrong with Samuel than undying love of me. But that was between him and me, and none of Warren's business. And Adam, for the first time, I wondered if it wouldn't just be easier if I pulled up stakes and moved. The phone continued to sing. "It's Z," I said. "I have to take this." Z was my former boss and mentor.